self-described as a Muay Thai fighter, coming in 170 centimeters, weighing in at 62 kilograms. He's got a record of 247 wins, 43 losses and 10 draws, 38 via KO. He is the WKA World Title Champion, the WMC World Champion and S1 former champion. Trained by Mark out of MTI Wellington, representing Songkla and Wellington. Let's make some noise for the genius, Pettawee Sor Kittichai! In the blue corner, he's a kickboxer coming in at 170 centimeters, coming in at 62 kilograms. He's got 14 wins, 7 losses, 0 draws, 3 via KO. He's a 62-kilogram South Island Oriental ISKA champion, the 60-kilogram NZ Oriental Rules champ, and King of the Ring champion, representing South Island Liga and CSC. Let's make some noise for Nikora Lee Kingi! Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Pro K1 fight, 3-by-3-minute rounds.
Interesting one in front of us here because of the fact that Pettawee Sor Kittichai is over there in the red corner. He is up against the King in the Ring, the current King in the Ring champion, Nikora Lee Kingi, and Kittichai, of course, wasn't in the King in the Ring. So you see how our champion, that's how we judge the fighters here in New Zealand, by the King in the Ring, the 8th man. And it's going to be interesting to just see how these two match up. Both very, very quick. A lot of time for Pettawee Kittichai. He's a fighter that's got immense speed.
Oh! Well, that's what I was talking about. Not only the speed, he's got the accuracy as well. No collateral damage to Kingi. He was quickly to his feet, but it just gives you an indication of how dangerous he is. Kittichai, seen him fight the K1 rules here tonight. Good to see that Kingi is 100%. He bounced straight up, but he was caught unguarded there momentarily. I'd love to see that knocked down in slow motion. And he goes on attack, trying to get the points back. Of course, you've got to be careful that you don't rush into something else. And he's a little bit probably disappointed with himself that he left half an opening. I've seen Kittichai have probably 4 or 5 fights up here in Auckland, and yeah, he adapts very well. Nice leg checks from him. Probably not going to be too many openings downstairs for Kingi in this one. I like the gameness of this young man, straight off the canvas and straight on for the attack. Final in the King in the Ring was absolutely perfect, and that's the sort of thing that Kittichai can do. He's got impeccable timing. Like the bull in the matador there. And Kingi's just trying to change things a little bit, trying to change the angles. I've seen Kittichai fight all sorts of rules. He does, of course, prefer. Nice work there from Kingi to negate that attack. Yeah, I've seen him in the full Thai fights against Sam Hill. Sam Hill went on attack and they just went round and round the ring with Kittichai going backwards, but just not allowing anything through. There's that timing again, the old Swiss watch, tick-tock, tick-tock. And that must get so frustrating As we come to the end of the first, we'll have to give that one for the knockdown. Oh, we are going to get a look at the knockdown and see. Oh, you sort of had the heart. It was a disguised kick. It looked like it was going to go to the midriff, and then at the last minute he flicks it up over the top, and I think Nikora had the hand up and then went down to protect the body, yeah, and wow, that's fast. That's fast. I'll tell you what, if it hadn't been for that, the round would have been pretty close, because Kingi was on attack right from when he got off the canvas to the end of the round. The timing was good from Kittichai, but there wasn't a lot of actual point scoring from him as far as the attack was going. It was more of a defensive role. He might have still edged it out, but was a little bit more aggressive here at the start of round number 2. Trying to use the front kick. And we won't mind being in close. Of course, we're not going to see too much knee in here in the K1 rules. Oh, well read by Kingi. Yeah, that you don't very often see a fighter catch Kittichai, so maybe he's found an opening and worked something out. Kingi got a great fight brain on him. Doing nothing wrong here in round number 2. Actually trying to make it not just a question that he's asking, he's trying to turn it into a puzzle. Kittichai knows he can't just afford to be in the defensive role right throughout the fight, so he's trying to be a little bit more proactive here in the second. Just a 3-round fight, and Kingi changing the angles, trying to find an opening. But closes down Kittichai when he comes in close. There's no damage there. Usually when Kittichai goes on a raid, he usually comes away with some points. But very impressive, Kingi. The only other fighter missing from the K1 was Alexi Serapisos, and of course we won't see him fight in New Zealand for probably a couple of years. He's signed with the One Championship. Now there goes the skill again. When you've had when you're in your 301st fight, I guess you're going to have a bit of that behind you.
10 seconds.
But Kittichai in the past, I've seen, has been one of those fighters that just takes the points and picks up the crumbs that his opponents have left him. But in that round, he knew he had to get a little bit busy.
Let's make some noise. King versus Champ!
Corner of Kingi. He'll take a particular notice, see if he can pick up any tips, because I think it's inevitable that he'll be out against Pettawee at some stage in the future. That's a good thing about the Canterbury Fight Club. He doesn't nurse his fighters. He puts them in progressively against better and better opponents. And you can see the results of what Dominic and Nikora have been doing. And of course, just before we saw Kieran Cullimore taking the same path, fighting tougher and tougher fights. No padding the record from the Canterbury Fight Club, that's for sure. And Kingi
Still looking for that opening, still got that belief that he can land one flush punch that will get him on attack. But I see round number 2 as a little bit of acknowledgement by Kittichai that he's up against a good fighter, because usually he just fights in the defensive and does the counter attacking. You don't really see him very aggressive, but on quite a few occasions in round number 2 he got aggressive, because he was getting caught a couple of times by Kingi, and I see that as a nod of acknowledgement from a world-class champion. So impressive. Well, see, I think this fight will be such a big learning curve for Kingi. He's such a good fighter that he picks up things from every time he steps through the ropes, and he may never ever again fight a more experienced fighter. There's not too many guys around the world on the scene that have had 300 fights. I'm sure he's going to take home a lot of lessons here from this one. I'm super impressed with his performance. I've given all the superlatives that I can over the time that I've been seeing Kittichai fight. I'm really good. That must be so frustrating. And the thing that Kingi has been on attack, but he hasn't done anything stupid. He hasn't left those openings like he did at the start of the fight. It would be easy to do, just lose the fight a little bit and think that you're on top, because that's the sort of thing that Kittichai can do to you. He can let you think that you're coming and going to find an opening, and all it is he's setting a trap for you. So Kingi, in my book, has put on a real superlative performance here tonight.
After 3 rounds, we have a unanimous decision. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, the genius, Pettawee.
Well, no one's come close to defeating him in New Zealand as yet, and he's a pleasure to watch every time he comes into the ring. And as I say, he's such a great guy on the outside of the ring as well.